You get a lot of people come, like what you said, people come in, is not just is the patch any good, is this thing fixed? And I'm like, I don't know. Is the Paraguayan third division fixed? Is the Apple Mac bug fixed? Like, I don't know. Yeah. I'm not playing on an Apple Mac.
Is the prize money in Equatorial New Guinea fixed yet? Don't know, mate. Don't know.
Have they
still
fixed
work on Ubuntu?
Yeah, have they fixed the console version? I'm like, well, the fixes roll out. Depends what your issue is, I guess. Right?
Interviews one's the best one. The one where they go like, oh, it says here you're in the CIA, and they go, yeah, and they went, you weren't where? You go, no, I wasn't. just unpicking everything. Says you're a CEO of a multinational distribution warehouse. I was, yeah. What was it? Sold some stuff on Vinted.
Could you imagine if in Football Manager your interviews were like that?
I want this.
Oh my God.
I'm one of the only people that wants this. A proper job interview. Why are you here? What's your philosophy?
It'll be AI
what can you bring to the
nowadays,
table?
Yeah.
Because you should
AI
have
An
interviews.
extra option where instead of like convince, threaten, one just says lie. Why is that another option?
Deceit. Distract.
Yeah.
I want intrigue, like Crusader Kings.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the FM Show. I am, of course, your host, Tony Jameson, and this week we have a returning full roster of co-hosts this evening. We have Maggio with us, we have SecondYellowCard, and we have RDF Tactics, aka Aaron Falloon. You and I had a conversation last week. We were talking about the winter update coming. Obviously, since then, it's come out. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I'm just going to park you for a second. Come across to Aaron, come across to Matt, see how they're getting on. We didn't see you last week, boys. Aaron, you're still very much, for the YouTube viewers and for the audio listeners, Aaron's still recording in what looks like his toilet.
You know what? On Riverside, I've got this option to change the background. I was like, should I just like throw off the viewers and every week just have a different background and have a game of where's Aaron recording this week?
Different toilets every week.
Yeah. Different toilets. He's at Woodall Spa Services. Excellent.
But I'm good. Yeah. I visited the aquarium, so I got to see a lot of new underwater animals. They freak me out. Like, yeah. never again. They're freaky.
Never again.
Nah, never again.
I've seen what's under there.
You know what? I did have fun with one fish because like they're quite engaging, right? So I don't know. I was just like, I didn't think, but I just put my hand like, she's doing this to the glass, and then the fish came over. So I was just like going, whoop, 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 to the fish, and like, he started repeating it back. I was like, oh my God, that actually real. That actually a thing. But yeah, there's that, and then Tottenham are a bit rubbish, aren't they?
Everyone got a time check on this? Just for Chris to edit out. Actually, if we've got a time check, it's time to sub off your goalkeeper. It's very, very early. So there's another one. If you're unsure what Aaron's on about by talking about fish in aquarium and having his little mind blown, look back to a couple of weeks ago when we released a Patreon exclusive episode because everybody was away. Speaking of being away, Matt, you've been away.
I have. I've been in Poland doing a bit of real life, going to the team I play in FM, because that's a totally normal thing that human beings do. Although that being said, I actually think it's probably more common than you'd imagine. But yes, I went to Poland. Thankfully, didn't plan to go to a Wisła Kraków game while I was out there because they were playing away that weekend. And it just so happens that they decided to boycott the game. All's well that ends.
Did they boycott the game because you couldn't make it? And they went, look, Matt's out here. We can't play without him, so we're just not going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. They thought it would be wrong. We'll just let him have free reign of the club shop, and he spent way too much money in it.
Nice. Okay. I like the sound of that. And you're saying as well there about, going and visiting the clubs you manage. It is more common than some people would think. I can't remember if I told this story on the podcast before. So, Si, before I come to you, just indulge me for 2 seconds. Apologies if I have told it, but we did it in the stand-up show. So when I did the first run in Leicester, right, and we're talking like years and years and years ago now, right? Did the show in Leicester. There was 4 guys came up to me afterwards and just like, they wanted a bit of a chat, and they went, just so you let you know, right? Because I know you talk about like funny things you've done in the game. us four as lads, like we go on our like lads holiday and we go and visit the clubs that we manage on Football Manager. So we've all been out to Belgium this year to go and like sort of visit these second or third division Belgian clubs. Then they bought the shirts, obviously, of the clubs that they managed and got new gen names printed up on the back of their shirts and then chanted for players that clearly don't exist. And I thought that was like brilliant. And I put it in the show and it was mint. And then a few weeks ago, Mrs. J was on a work call and she's chatting away to one of her work colleagues, and they go, just hang on, I've just put two and two together. It goes, your husband, like you mentioned, he's a comedian. He's not called Tony by any chance, is he? And they went, yeah. He went, do stuff on Football Manager. And she was like, yeah. And they went, we saw him in Leicester. We're the guys who go and do all the tours around. And she went, you're in the show. So it turns out that Mrs. J actually works with the guy that goes and does all the Belgian touring. So shout out to the Belgian football supporters, by the way. You're absolute legends.
Top dudes.
Si, can you beat that one?
Oh, can I beat that one? No, I don't think I can.
He's definitely got the shirts, so.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. He's bought a shirt every single club in the game, never mind who's managed.
I did manage in Belgium, but I didn't manage to get the team shirt. It was kind of hard to get a third tier Belgian shirt. Surprisingly hard. First tier is all right, but when you get down to the third tier, I like that it's been, we said before the show, we made too many Spurs jokes this last week. We weren't going to do any this week, and we've already slipped up. So, yeah.
So 2 or 3 times.
Waiting for the next pun on what this is. Because of the footing in it, that's why,
Simeone's watered our podcast, so, yeah.
Oh, man.
This chair's moving all over the place.
Actually, on the back of last week, I've just thought, we talked about sons in the game, and I had a chat with my chat last night about footballers with sons and if they have good sons. And Diego Simeone's son is a footballer at Atletico Madrid.
Oh, yeah.
How convenient.
Yeah. And Ronaldinho's son is at Hull.
Yeah, that's the one.
Like
is it Hull? Is it Hull or Burnley?
He was at Burnley. He's now at Hull.
He's at Hull now, is he? All right.
He sort of stinks of he's not good enough, but he's Ronaldinho's son. So let's get the fans to live with hope. Yeah, that's it.
When we spoke about it on the podcast, my virtual son, was only in the game because I was the manager. So Ronaldinho's son is going to get a lot more leeway than my kid.
Virtual nepotism's not quite the same, is it?
Not at all, is it? Not at all. Yeah, and I remember this, you mentioned their side as well about getting shirts from like second division or third division clubs. Not easy. I think I mentioned I had when I was managing my Builder Nation Greece save, was it Larissa? Someone joined in the chat and go, I'm local. And I was like, all right. I said, can you get me a shirt? And I went, yeah, I can sort it out. And you know when you just believe someone on the internet just because you're there? And I'm like, I'm going to send this person money. And then I'm sure they'll definitely bring a shirt back, right? Took me a little while, but they did send it. But I did have a little bit of time when the chat were going, you've just given money to a stranger, TJ. I'm just like, yeah, I have, haven't I? It's all fine. I mean, what a slip up that would have been. That's another one for you. So things have been good then. Things have been good. So obviously, Matt, you've been away. Aaron, you've been away. Have we got a save update side? We did our updates last week, didn't we? So I'm curious if we've got anything. Have you even played the game yet, Aaron? That's the question.
I ain't got a computer to play it on yet. And that's the worst thing, right? So I think my thing's just a fan issue. It's not like a major issue, thank God. It's a fan thing. But I'll go on. X is just the worst place ever. And I just keep going on it. And I'm seeing comments. I'm like, I only want to fix the computer to play Football Manager. Otherwise, I've just got like no motivation to do it. And I'm just waiting for some positivity around the game. And then I'm getting back into it. But at the moment, I'm living with no computer, which is it's difficult. It's difficult.
You haven't taken up the mobile version.
I have. But it's not, I have, yes. I'll still get the itch a little bit, but it's not the same. It's not the same. I'm just like, I was just sort of play. So like yesterday, for example, I was watching Bayern Munich as well, and then just sort of like you just drop the tactic that's whatever on the game, and then sort of play a match. And I'm just like, well, this is not a save. And then when the game is done, I just close the phone, whatever. But I have the itch, and it's just all the time I go back on X, I see the negativity around the game. I was like, it's just not worth it. Because I can't play Foot Manager. Foot Manager is not a game to play an hour. I need I want to spend hours on it.
Yeah, I think if you're going on Twitter for anything other than to hate your life, then really you're in the wrong place, aren't you?
But the thing is, I don't go on it. It's because I get the notifications from. So when Foot Manager posts the updates, whatever, I still get those notifications. So it's just like, let me just click on it to see if there's any like positivity in the comments, and it's just like, I can't get rid of this box straight away. So the first thing, I can't get rid of this box.
yeah. This doesn't work now. And the response is going, have you loaded things in that aren't meant to be there? Yes, but that's not the point. It's like, oh, right, that is the point.
It's like, verify your catch, verify your game. And all this, I was like, oh, I can't be bothered.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the updates come out. And I mean, oh God, yeah, you say that, Twitter is a minefield. That For You page is not for me. I don't know whose page that's for, but it ain't for me. It's for somebody, but it's not for me. They've just taken a wild stab and went, you look like you'd want to have this amount of angry in your face, wouldn't you, Tony? Not today, thank you. No. But yeah, new patch is out. We talked about it last week. Matt, have you had a chance to catch up, or have you been real lifing?
No. I basically got back on Monday night at like midnight, and I was streaming Tuesday morning because, well, got to stay on that grind. That, and I kind of missed the save, honestly. Like being there and actually going to the stadium, and that kind of just gave me like I'm really invested in this now. Not that I wasn't prior, but yeah, I jumped straight back in. Hadn't had a chance to play any of it before. So the first experience I had of playing the new patch was the stream I did. Problem was, of course, because as you say, skins or anything, they weren't working yet. I had no skins, and it was just like, oh yeah, I see. It's like you get so used to the little things that make the game a little bit more usable, and then the second it gets stripped away from you, you understand sometimes where people's eye comes from a little bit, because I realized that a lot of the things that I've been finding about the game that have been nice and smooth are a lot of those things have been attributed to the skin that I've been using as opposed to the game. And all of a sudden, when it's all shifted away, you realize that there's still a lot of stuff that's a little bit out of shape. But as of today, back on the skin, back on the game, there is a few things in there that I really do quite like. I think they're starting to address some of the immersion issues slightly with things like for some reason it's a toggle, and I don't really know why, the thing that now lets you see other fixtures in your competitions on match days, even if you're not partaking on that particular match day. It's little things like that, seeing goals going in for other teams on other days that you're not playing, and just sort of keeping up with results in the league, that makes you feel less isolated, because you still feel a bit isolated to your own little league bubble, but at the very least you now feel like there's other teams involved in it. Whereas I think this was a opinion that a lot of us shared when the game first came out. It was almost like point and click. You weren't even really engaging with things outside your own team for the most part, and didn't even know what was going on in the league. Whereas now, I noticed earlier that one of the B teams had gone on a little cup run, but I wasn't aware of that before because I wouldn't have been shown those fixture pages. And it's just little stuff like that. And if they could start to bring the things to do with the other leagues in play as well, we could really start to get back to some of the things that I think are the biggest issues with it and bring people back in. But for me, that's the biggest thing. I'm sure there's other changes too, like the match engine's been changed, but that for me was the biggest like standout thing. I don't know if you guys have experimented with it much or what your thoughts are on it, but for me, it was a huge deal.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the fixture toggle, and it took me a little. I must admit, it took my chat to tell me where it was to put it on, because they were like, they did that lovely thing that you get when it's like an update's just dropped, and then within about 4 minutes of it dropping, someone's in the chat going, "Is the update any good?" I'm like, I've got no idea. Like, I'm here. I've just turned up. Hello. But I found where the fixture one is, and do you know what? Maybe this is a thing. Like you said there about, skins are sort of covering some of the issues, which we've always said historically as well. That we are used to skins, so we don't really play with the base skin for longer than we have to. So there are some stuff that's going to be fixed, by great modders in the community. There was a bit when I put the fixture page on. For a few seconds, I looked at it and I went, I don't want this now, because I'm now used to not having it. And I was like, actually, no, I do want it. And it just took me a moment, because I was like, what the fuck's a new screen here for? It's another screen. I was like, oh no, this is a good screen. Right, I need this one. I was just like, I sort of got used to how the game now looks and plays. In so much of just going, well, this is just what it is. And I hadn't considered that it would change. Does that make sense, Si?
Yeah. I haven't tried that toggle yet. I played. When did the patch come out? Tuesday. It came out Tuesday, didn't it? So they delayed it, I think. And I played last night. So I haven't had a go. Obviously, of time of recording, I haven't had a go. I've had one playthrough and I forgot to turn it on, so I didn't really notice. You get a lot of people come, like what you said, people come in. Is not just is the patch any good? Is this thing fixed? And I'm like, I don't know. Is the Paraguayan third division fixed? Is the Apple Mac bug fixed? Like, I don't know. Yeah. I'm not playing on an Apple
Mac. Is the prize money in Equatorial New Guinea fixed yet? Don't know, mate. Don't know.
Have they still work on Ubuntu?
Yeah, have they fixed the console version? I'm like, well, the fixes roll out. Depends what your issue is, I guess. It does come a little bit to, I think, where people, a lot of people are obviously unhappy with the game because of bugs and things. But I think the problem is no two people's issue is the same. Well, there are a few, but like it's lots of little things rather than like one big. People say the UI, but people will say different things about the UI. So I think to know whether something's fixed, you sort of have to know what their issue is with what was wrong in the first place. But I do need to turn that toggle on for sure.
I think that's one of those things, and I think we've tried to sort of be reasoned with some of our response on this, because there has been a lot. We've all had comments on the YouTube videos, comments in stream, oh, my game crashes, my game does this. And I suppose you can only really comment on what you see yourself. And because I've never seen a crash before, I'm like, well, look, my game doesn't crash, but hey, this bit doesn't work. I'm not saying that what you're experiencing isn't what you're experiencing, but I can't comment on the crashes because I've not experienced it myself. What I will comment on is this over here makes no sense. And they go, oh yeah, that's on my game as well. And I think we've noticed that there's that many different things that are different in everyone's experience, that it's literally like whack-a-mole trying to fix things at the minute, isn't it? Going we fix that over there, and then it sort of breaks something else over here, and you're like, oh, that's a shame. Turns out we are going to have more rain after all. I did get rain, by the way. They said that they've lowered it down. Nah, I've still got rain. Still got rain. Oh, wow. And also, I had someone in my chat say, because I mentioned this on the show a while ago, that as Darlington, my shirts are white and black quarters, okay? On the back of my shirt, my numbers are white. Shouldn't be, they should be red, right? And we've made a joke about it all on the stream. We've just dealt with the fact we don't have squad numbers, apparently. Someone came into my stream and they went, I'm Darlington, my squad numbers are black. How come yours aren't? I was like, I haven't toggled it. I haven't
dynamic squad number
invisible squad numbers. Just I can't believe you've put white squad numbers. That's a stupid idea. I haven't done that.
Where'd you get the white squad number mod, Tony? Jeez.
I wonder if it's a kit file or something that's changed it.
Maybe, possibly, but again, I've not ran anything new in anything, and so I don't know. That's just a thing, because I think we debated about the idea that Under Armour was going to be, or base layers were going to match the shorts colour, and I was like, they don't match the short. They're meant to match the shirt colour. That was last week's episode when you two were here to keep me on track. So
they did make some changes to the colours on certain things in this update, because my Vispa team had these sort of pastel pink tracksuits before, and they were they stood out a little bit. It was a little bit Barbie's dream house, but in a good way. But now, as of this latest update, we won the Super Cup, and they come out in these basically red, like this shirt, full onesie tracksuits, long sleeves, everything, but with seemingly no transition from the top to the shorts. So they were almost like wearing onesies. It looked like they were about to board the Polar Express. It was really something. So yeah, that's new.
Nice. Yeah. Nice.
Just in our Discord, so as you lot was talking, I just got a notification on my phone. It was like, Miles Jacobson is on the Apprentice.
I just see that.
Yeah, I've never ever posted a message in Discord. My first message is like, you what? You what? Because I thought it was a joke. I wasn't sure if it's real, but yeah, he's testing out a VR game.
That's on today. Normally I watch The Apprentice, but apparently it's insufferable this year. More insufferable than normal. Yeah, so I've not watched it this year.
Yeah, I watched the first episode and it was like, it's not good for me like it used to.
No.
So I ain't going back, but I'm going to go back now. I've got a reason to.
Yeah, I might have to watch that episode now. Oh, but then I'm going to want to watch the ones before. Oh, no. I thought I was out and it pulled me back in.
I don't think it's like a soap opera where you have to, there's a continuous narrative. I think it's just, idiot tries to sell something, doesn't, gets wered. And
no, we're in there must be week 7 or week 8. And I have to imagine at this point, if you're seeing some people like, why are they still there? But obviously, by this point, they're still there because it's TV views. Right.
Interviews one's the best one. The one where they go oh, it says here you're in the CIA, and they go, yeah, and they went, you weren't. You go, no, I wasn't. I was just unpicking everything. Says you're a CEO of a multinational distribution warehouse. I was, yeah. What was it? Sold some stuff on Vinted.
Do you imagine if in Football Manager your interviews were like that?
I want this.
Oh my God.
I'm one of the only people that wants this. A proper job interview. Why are you here? What's your philosophy?
It'll be AI
what can you bring to the
nowadays, though.
table?
Yeah.
Because you should
AI
have
interviews.
Another option where instead of like convince, threaten, one just says lie. Why is that not an option?
Deceit. Distract.
Yeah.
I want intrigue, like Crusader Kings.
Or do it with like a Dungeons and Dragons element as well. Like, what's your influencing skill? Right,
You roll a
Clay,
dice.
roll this dice. You go, oh,
I mean, you
20
have though.
for that.
That
Oh, you
shouldn't.
can-
That you have that
convince them.
rating already. you
And just
have that
bullshit your
rating.
way through an interview. I think you should have it on the first job as well, by the way. Like, because I know you start the save and you've already got the job, but I think there should be some background to lead you into it.
So you have to interview for the job you start the save with. Imagine if you don't get the job.
It's part of the joy, right?
Yeah, that'd be speedrun 101. Trying to get sacked
Yeah.
before even getting the job.
TJ, did you fail the first interview? I did, yeah. I did. I didn't even get it.
Failed the
Didn't
drugs
get an
test on the
interview.
way in.
Make a promise to the players.
Yeah. Parked in the chairman's car parking spot.
Oh my God.
Speaking right, okay. So speaking of job interviews, last update I had for Darlington, and I'm sorry I'm taking up quite a bit of airtime here, but do you remember when I said, and it was just before you went away, Matt and Aaron, I said I fell out with the Darlington board, didn't I? And I was sort of, they were going to sack me, and I said, well, go on then, sack me, and then they were like, oh no, I didn't really mean that. Well, anyway, we saw out that season, just sort of got to the end of it. We had a bit of a small recruitment drive in the summer. We had a bit of money to spend, but I put it more into wages because, we're tier 6. Put me money into wages. Got a couple of good players in there, which I was quite happy with. I managed to get this. I've got a perfectionist midfielder in tier 6. I'm like, ooh, okay. Like, get you in. You're going to be all right. I got a sort of winger forward, who I'm playing as an inside forward. We'll talk tactics in a minute. I got him. You know how like players are non-contract, yeah? So
Yeah.
I put a bid in for this guy, and then I think it was Halifax sort of rivaled me for him as well. And I upped my wages a little bit and thought, right, there's another team coming for me. I'm going to up my wages. I should get him now. Overpay for him. He then agreed to stay at the club he was at for another non-contract. So I was like, well, all right. So I went straight back in and offered him less money than I was going to. And he's now signed for me. So I think that might be a bug, which I've exploited. But
Self-esteem.
Oh, exactly, yeah. And going, actually, yeah, that conversation we had, yeah, it was brilliant, wasn't it? I haven't got that money anymore now. So he's now in. Anyway, so brought him in, and I've brought another striker in to take a bit of pressure off my lone striker. And I brought 2 left backs in on loan because I couldn't quite decide who I wanted. I had a goalkeeper crisis. Could you imagine? At this time in the world, could you imagine a goalkeeper crisis? My first team goalkeeper, my backup goalkeeper, both injured. I had to bring a third goalkeeper in on loan from Stoke. Anyway, that's the recruitment side of things. On the pitch, that's the important thing. On the pitch, expected to finish 6th or 7th. A little bit too much, if you ask me, from the media. So as we're getting towards October, end of September, October, results not brilliant. We're sitting about 14th as usual, drawing loads of games. Not losing, not really winning, not conceding, not really scoring. Reason being, I've gone for bastard ball, right? I've started to adopt a new philosophy. Back end of last season, I was just like, I just want to make myself tough to beat, see the season out. And I've just posted it in our WhatsApp group just before we got started, okay? Aaron's going to try and articulate what my tactic is, because I said, this is what it is, and he went, it's not though, is it? I went, okay, that's not it. But the output is brilliant. The last 4 matches, okay, this is where we are now, right? And this has been a rise from 14th to 7th. Okay, that's playoff spots. Last 4 games, away to Braintree, 1-0 win for Darlington. 28% possession for Darlington, 72% for Braintree. Darlington, 4 shots, 1 on target. Braintree, 16 shots, 8 on target. The momentum swing, I scored with the only time that it was my colour in the momentum for 90 minutes. Love that. 2-0 win against Chorley. I had 26% possession at home. I battered them 12 shots that time. Don't know how I did that with 26% possession. They had 74%. They had 5 shots, none on target. Again, momentum's all for them. I beat Chelmsford 1-0, 31% possession, 15 shots. They had 9 shots with 69% possession. And I also beat Kettering, who was second, 1-0 away from home, 38% possession. God, I've dominated that time, haven't I? They had 62%, 21 shots, 4 on target. We had 38%, 5 shots, 3 on target. It's delightful.
And what are the goals like? What's the quality of the goal? Like, is it scrappy or is it actually good because it's the one chance you get a game?
It's good goals as well. Like, we're getting like players moving in from out wide positions, cutting the ball inside, and then like there's a player on the edge of the box who's like powering it in, or they're putting the ball through, and then there's like the fella getting on the back post. And we're not just doing an Arsenal and only scoring set pieces, you know. We're not scoring deflections. Like, we are, when we conceded goals a little bit earlier in the season, we conceded a lot of goals from outside the box, which is a bit of a concern. So they would obviously pick the ball outside and just ping it in and it would hit someone and go in. And I was like, oh, it's a bit frustrating. But we seem to have fixed that a little bit. But it's down to my interpretation of a 3-4-3 or 3-5-2 in possession and a 5-4-1 out of possession. It's the lowest of all blocks. It's brilliant. We're defending our 6-yard box. It's perfect. Si looks disgusted.
Yeah, because I've been playing teams like
Aaron's
this,
giggling,
laying siege to 6-yard boxes and not scoring, and I'm like, just get those defenders out the way, remove them from the game. Defenders, you don't need defenders. It's the fact that my players are on the edge of the 6-yard box, and then because they can't get through the defender, they decide to pass it back out the box again, and I'm like, just like take a speculative shot. Have you? What's that?
Yeah, I've actually just stopped playing attacking midfielders entirely, and now I have 3 midfield playmakers in my team. They just sit on the edge of the area as a little line of them. It's fantastic. Yeah. It's just genuinely great.
Yeah, this is the thing. So I thought, like, is the tactic only working in my universe as well with my players, which has always been my argument. So a couple of members of my chat have taken it and they've put it into their saves, and they're saying, do you know what? We're getting narrow wins. We're getting some draws. We're maybe still lacking 1 or 2 players that make the tactic work perfectly, but it's got promise. There's something there. I might have tacticked.
Well, especially if you're perhaps a struggling newly promoted side who are expected to go down, that kind of scrappy Alamo attitude, like, that's the kind of thing you need sometimes, because to get those scrappy points against way better sides than you and the odd occasional win, that's how you're going to stay up. I mean, you could try the whole, we're going to play beautiful football, but we'll lose every game 6-2. That's like, you're scoring loads, but your defense is absolutely like a colander. And sometimes you need a little bit of that pure, as you say, bastard ball to make it happen.
How are they not scoring? How are they not scoring?
How are they not scoring?
Yeah.
It's just low, like looking at their XG, it looks like it's just low quality shots, right? It might just be like what Tony's saying, just speculative shots. So Braintree had 16 shots, but their XG was 0.98 and had 1 clear cut. So if you take that clear cut chance away from their XG as well, it's just like they're just not actually finding a way through and just having shots.
I think it's the fact that we're sitting deep means they're having to shoot from outside the area, and because they're shooting from outside the area, the XG, as my understanding is lowering anyway. You know, they're not getting in behind. They're not really getting 1-on-1s. So those clear cut chances are kind of like dwindling out the way. Like, yeah, I mean, there's one match here. They had that Chelmsford match. We beat Chelmsford. We went down to 10 men, and we scored a penalty in the 83rd minute. So we played with 10 men, and we got a penalty. So that's a good double whammy.
You only need 1 player to score a pen.
Sure, that's 74% of the ball, but their XG was they had 0 shots on target.
Yeah, 0 shots on target for the opposition.
0 shots on target is insane.
Yeah, but then Tony's XG isn't much better on the. Like,
no,
how's actually the question maybe should be how are they scoring?
It's not, but then I guess he's going to be working with a lot more space. So like the actual distance or whatever, the location of the shot might be the same. But with Tony's defenders, there's like 6 defenders he's got to go through compared to when Tony's doing it. He could be hitting them on a break where the ball the shooter just has time and space to actually have a shot.
You just create a couple of high quality chances per game and hope that you've got the quality to take them. Obviously, that isn't what actually you're supposed to measure, but sometimes you can break the system in the short term. Like you might find in the long term it does return to the mean, or it's just an indication that the match engine isn't quite what it should be in that sense. But
Are you trying to say that my statistics aren't right, Matthew? Because I've got lots of Optas.
So you can't argue with Optomat.
So I'll say
Probably how XG is calculated.
So I'll say only the Kettering game, you would say that he was kind of fortunate to win the game. The other games, it's like, nah, you done the job. You was solid at the back and you just nicked the goal. But the Kettering game is the one where it's like, yeah, they might have created a chance or two, and he's got away with it in that one. But then as well, you're supposed to earn your own luck, right?
That's the thing. And what it has done is it's made me want to keep playing as well. It came at a great time because I was like, do you know when you're like 6 seasons in National League North, you don't look like you're going anywhere. It's like, do I change clubs? Do I go through all this process again? Like, what's the point? But it has now got me sat there going, well, that's that one more game feeling. That's starting to come back. and the chat, like watching it going, like, are we? Because when we counter-attack, we can play some good football as well. Like, we have some nice movement, but you don't notice that. You just notice 1-0 win, 1-0 win, 1-0 win. And it's it's great. That's all you need to see. And yeah, it's fun. We're like, are we accidentally good now? And we don't know.
Are we the baddies?
But all the signs are pointing to maybe Tony Simeone is a thing.
Get water in that pitch.
Absolutely. I'm not scoring 5 goals. Come on. What is it? A season's worth of goals in one match?
Hey, if you're looking at this tactic, it's definitely what Tony James is doing at those stadiums. He's definitely watering the pitch. Yeah, Tony Simeone.
Look, you might get that score. You just haven't played Spurs yet.
Yeah, got to look for the 1%, right? That's what it's all about.
I can just imagine Tony just rocking up against Spurs like, no, we're meant to be shit, not you guys.
It's a 0-0 draw. Yeah. I mean, so how about that then, Aaron? So I'm confused as to what I've got. I think it's a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2. What's your take on it?
I just think it's disgusting because
it's a crime against God.
Because I saw the 5-4-1. I was like fair, that's fair, right? It's only now when you're talking, I'm like looking at the roles. He's only got a tracking midfielder in there as well. So once the opposition actually get past the halfway line, it actually becomes a back 6. And that's just absolutely disgusting. He's got a striker to stay in there, back 6. I don't think the defenders actually have to do anything.
They just hold hands like they're doing a line dance. The ball cannot physically pass through them because there is no room for the atoms.
You can't see it, right? But that's what's happening, right? His back line's got those green links as well. So, I mean, the more you play, the more difficult it actually can get for other teams to break you down.
There's actually a green line that's not there because my right winger has come in because my other right winger is injured. There is a red line between the right winger and the right fullback, inverted wing back.
So what's a HFB? So there's a pressing fullback,
holding fullback.
HFB,
holding fullback. That's
holding fullback. Yeah.
Half centre back.
So no one's coming down your left side.
No.
Because you've just got the left back just standing there, and then just for safe measures, you got the wing, but the midfielder's like, he's coming back to help as well.
Yeah.
So it's just 2 people standing there on the left side.
It's like bouncers from different ends of the pub tackling you.
Yeah. And then like you say, the striker's all the way up the top going, if anyone gets the ball, whack it forward to him.
Whack it, yeah. And the right winger, he might join.
So the rest of your team is in a long-distance relationship with your striker, basically.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If you get promoted with this, does this stay?
100%.
Would it be good enough against better teams?
That's the question. That's the question. It could be better again.
Have you played the cup with it, by any chance? Or are you already out of the cup at this point?
Well, I'm out the cup now. I lost to Scunthorpe, I think. We held them 0-0, and then we had to have a replay, and then we lost 3-0 because I rotated because I'd rather focus on the league than go into the first round of the FA Cup. And then we drew 0-0 with Hebburn, who are from a division below us in the FA Vars. One on penalties, obviously, but because it's counter-attack, I didn't want to adjust it.
Yeah.
But I am now starting to I'm getting a little bit experimental with it though. During the match, you'll like this, Aaron. I'm moving my no-nonsense centre-back in the middle. In my possession, he can move up to be my defensive midfielder to have essentially 2 defensive midfielders in with the inverted wing-back, and Dingle-Dang comes in there. And then that's 5 midfielders, maybes. Sai's already lost the will to live at this point now. He's like, what's going on? What is TJ trying to do with tactics? And then I'll switch from a direct counter-attack to possibly a control possession.
So I've got a question, right?
Yep,
I've got a question, right? There's always the question about gegenpressing, how much energy pressing constantly takes. But I'm not looking at this and I'm like, this has got to be a lot of energy, right? Because obviously once you get the ball, some of your players are going on an attack, you lose the ball, I'm pretty sure you're regrouping, so they have to run all the way back, especially a left midfielder. Obviously in the game it doesn't count for it, but I'm thinking as well, mentally taxing, watching the opposition have 70% of the ball every game. That must be just...
The fans like it.
The fans are like what I tell them to like.
I would love it. I'm not gonna lie. As a fan, I would love it. And I know there's so much
sets fans against managers.
But there's so much criticism about Arsenal, right? And some of it is fair enough. Genuinely, yesterday I was in the group chat. Leverkusen were winning 1-0. After 80 minutes, I said to my friend, if Leverkusen don't score another one, we are not losing. And that is just like, it's disgusting to feel like Arsenal want to somehow creep a goal in, just somehow. And it's not gonna be pretty neither. Sure, right, it was a penalty, 1-1. It's ugly, but as a fan, I genuinely love that feeling of we're losing, 80th minute, but we're not gonna end up losing. Just somehow something's gonna happen.
Well, it's different to the Wenger years, isn't it? Different to the latter Wenger years.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like it so much. I mean, if this was Arsenal forever sort of thing, I'd be like, all right, sort of get a little bit of change. But I think this is why I like it. And also, obviously, being 20 years of being weak, so now it does feel like pretty nice to wind everyone up. I'm not gonna lie, there are some times where it's just like, all right, guys, like, you know, play a bit of football, try something, but I don't know. I'm not the players, and I just got this horrible feeling that because it's Arsenal, and I think the players will feel that the first 20 games, whatever, you're just playing without the pressure. As soon as it's getting to that time, not winning the title and having that pressure constantly, being the banter team, I just feel always we just go into this shell. And I'm just like, hey, as long as you lot can ride that out and bring it home, I'm fine. And next year, maybe the shackles come off a little bit. The players have that a little bit more freedom. They're not worried now making a mistake. Because I still got that thing. If a player makes a mistake, I still got this thing as like, Arsenal players are just going to be on a bit of a ropey. We're just going to have this ropey period. And it happened where we went like 3 games of not being able to win a game in the league, and just like, it's feeling like it. But luckily, City are not the same City.
Well, this is partly where I'm coming from. There, you're talking about mentality of your team, and I did say I've got a player in tier 6 who's a perfectionist, and I'm wondering if that's rubbing off because I don't have, like, I lost like an influential player during the summer. Like, we're trying to get like leaders in the dressing room. I'd try and recruit leaders. You know, that's what I want. I try and recruit. We've talked about this before. The TJ DNA, which is, you know, determination, teamwork, work rate, leadership, fitness. Like, I want all that. They're my go-to attributes. You know, so I sort of feel as though I'm building a team in my own image at this point. And you say, Si, like, you know, are the fans happy? Satisfied? I think ultimately, I guess as long as results are going well, we're pushing up towards the playoffs. They've had 6 years of sadness, really. They might throw me a bone if we make the playoffs. Will I keep it if we go up? I don't see why not. I think we'll we might be against, not much better opposition really, but there'll be some better players in there. And if we can recruit maybe one flair player or, someone else who again's got that mentality, a better goal scorer who can maybe be a bit of muscle up top, maybe change the way I want to play, or just someone who's lightning quick. There's always going to be something to change and something to improve. And with that, maybe a role will change, maybe the actual dynamic will change completely, but we'll have to wait and see. I've got optional 1-year extensions on all the players, so worst case scenario, we roll the tactic out again next year with the same players, just about. Although I am over the wage budget and finances are now starting to become a bit of an issue, but we'll deal with that in the future.
I got one question. What happens when you go behind with this tactic?
Well, we do what Aaron's just said. We just find a way. Like,
yeah, but
I don't. Do you know what I've learned? I've learned to not panic. That's what I've learned. Because I'm going like, I had this sort of like belief in the tactic when I put it together. I was like, right, there's something here, and performances were all right, and we lost the first few games when I was trying to put it in. I was like, we're not losing by lots, and I can see what it's meant to be doing. And normally, I'd worry and I'd tweak and I'd like shout and I'd try and like change mentality, or I'd change a role, or I'd change the passing directness or the tempo. I just sit and I let it play out. And if it gets to 60 minutes and it doesn't look like it's going to change too much, then I'll be all right. Okay, well, we'll push ourselves back up into like maybe a 4-3-3 if we have to go drastic and change the formation massively. All those players are used to playing in a 4-3-3. We move Douglas out of the centre back and we move him into the midfield. We shuffle the pack a little bit. The wing backs drop back into, like, sort of from being high up, they drop back into sort of like the normal wing back spot in the defence. So it's a flat back four. If we push another forward up, make it a 4-4-2, we can do that. But thankfully, we've not had to, because that's, it's usually when you shuffle the pack too much. But there's options in there. We can, go a bit more direct. We can slow the tempo down. We can press if we have to, because we are regrouping. We can counter press if needs be. But at the minute, it's just doing what it needs to do.
Yeah.
But I am worried that I've come into form too early. I've got 16 games left. I'm worried I'm going to burn out and miss out.
I need to start doing that. Because I remember, like, previously on Football Manager, like, if I'm chasing a game, so like if I'm playing like a 4-3-3, I try and be like too technical when I'm making changes, because like I think I know the game. So I'm like, all right, this OP thing didn't work, so let's try this OP thing instead. Rather than just be like, I don't have to change much, right? Like, this system's gotten me so far already. Why not just, if I'm going on 4-3-3, why not just move the defensive midfielder to striker and just go 4-4-2 and just leave everything else and just make a little change like that? And then again, just let the game play out. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not, it's not. The amount of times that I've tried to be too technical and you don't get the result anyway. And it's just like, well, that's the game's fault. None of the OP stuff worked.
I think as well.
That's the thing, you're
like,
changing variables. Sorry,
go on, Matt. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like I always find this when I'm playing finals, because I'm watching them on full match, I have a habit of seeing things I wouldn't normally see in the match engine and trying to make changes based on that. Whereas what I try to stick to in my head is like, this tactic got you to that final. There's a reason why it did that. Trust the process. If you're going to make a change, explain to yourself why you're making it and what you think is going to happen. Because I'll often, usually in finals, because you've got more time to talk about these things, you'll get messages in chat being like, oh, you need to do this, 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 and this. And I'm just like, yes, let's make 11 changes to the tactic that got us here, despite the fact we have no idea what any of those things are actually going to do. And you're essentially just sort of throwing instructions into a box and hoping that what comes out of it is better than what's already in the box. And generally speaking, what's in the box is quite nice.
Well. And just 6 minutes in because you're playing at 90 minutes, whereas
you'd
exactly, be on 84 minutes if you're on key highlights. Yeah, I get it. And I must admit, I look at the little 2D thing, and I see that, and I still can't make a head and a tail of it. So I don't really know.
I like it.
How? No,
I like it.
I just ignore it because I'm like, it's moving too fast. And if I slow it down, then the whole game slows down. So I'm like, I don't want that. I just want to get through the thing. So I sort of, if I make changes, I still feel like I'm making changes based on very little information, other than I'm getting more highlights against me
I'm not watching it to watch. Okay, I'm not watching it to watch necessarily what individual players are doing, but I'm watching it to watch which side of the pitch we're going down, which side of the pitch they're going down, where the ball is generally. Is it like, are we sat low? Are we sat high? Are they sat low? Are they sat high? Is it pretty end to end? Are we catching them on the counter? Are they catching me on the counter? I'm sort of watching it because you can catch those things at the higher speed. I'm not watching to make sure that like my DM and my playmaker are passing well together, but I'm watching to see if I'm losing the ball there a lot, and then I'll be like, okay, what's going on in that area of the pitch?
I guess I can turn it off entirely.
Yeah.
I've just got like formations there, so I can have the full league table on one side and the latest scores all down the other side now, because I felt like that information was more, not important to me, but it was more important for the world I was playing in. And I guess that I don't have the ability to do what Sai does and read that stuff fast enough, because to me it's just like watching static on a television that's died. And I can't play it slow enough. Well, I can turn the speed down, but the problem is at that point, the games then take so long that I then don't find that I'm getting what I want. So at the speed that I have to play at, it's just the lottery balls, basically.
Yeah. And, interesting you mentioned that about the league tables, because that's all I've got is in between matches. I'm like, right, let's look at the league table and the latest scores, which, of course, is over the opposition formations. And I'm just like, I don't need to see what the opposition are doing. I'm busy looking out to see what Gloucester are up to.
Just got Gloucester's formation pinned.
Something interesting come out of
the formation.
Something interesting come out of the skins today. And you were talking about having leaders in your team, Tony. And Aaron sent this in our little chat earlier. Somewhat, I've forgotten. I have to remember who said now. FM. I will say the name just to give them credit. But they were looking in the skin and the FM Playmaker. The stuff that's in the console version with the 4 different archetypes of player is in the PC version. Now, whether the mechanic is there, I don't know. But that's what I'm sort of curious. Is the mechanic there, but you can't alter it or mess around with it? So you're just sort of at the whim of whatever the game decides.
So explain fully what this means. Sorry, so
okay,
Aaron, you found it. What were we talking about?
Oh, no, Sam probably better explain that.
Okay, right.
The mechanism.
So there is a function in console mode that is not in the PC mode, which will come as a surprise to everyone who says the console version is just a watered down PC one. So they actually has things that are not in the PC mode. It was in FM24, FM25. No, it was not in FM25. FM23 and FM26. I think they tried MC. So essentially, you don't have the squad dynamic. At the start now in 26, you get the thing that asks you what kind of manager you are. That sort of came from the console, this bit on the console version. But the console version also has an extra bit about what kind of principles, not philosophies, principles you want to use. I forget which one of them set by the board and one of them set by you. Okay, so these are your principles. You could be hardworking thinker or tactician motivator or whatever it is you want to be. Like your principles is kind of, but also the way the players act around you. And there are 4 archetypes of player: leader, relaxed, hard worker, and do you remember the other one, Aaron? I think it should be on the tweet here. There's 4 of them. What are they? They're called mindsets, right? So it's the mindset of the type of player. They can change as well. Hard worker is one of them. I can't remember did you say it then, Tony?
I said, is it mercenary? Because they turn its head quite a bit.
I don't remember what the last one is, but essentially, there's 4. It might be balanced. The last one might be called balanced or something, or I don't remember. Anyway, you get I've got it here. Thinker, hard worker,
leader,
relaxed.
Thinker, relaxed, hard worker.
Thinker. Thinker is the last one. Sorry, yeah. So you've got these 4 archetypes of players. So you might be like, oh, okay, Kevin De Bruyne, he's a thinker, right? Or Kyle Walker, he's probably a hard worker, or maybe he's relaxed, or maybe he's a leader. I don't know. They can change, like what kind of player they are. And you want to balance in your team, or it was hard to tell if you wanted it balanced or you wanted it like.
You wanted everyone's mentality sort of to
be a certain kind, and it was okay. You obviously didn't want them all relaxed, because that would but having some relaxed players isn't the worst thing. So it's like, okay, how do you, because it changes the way in which your team plays, right? So if you get them all one way, if it matches your mentality, but having it balanced also works out quite well. So, and you could change their mentality through conversations with them, through training, through your principles as well. So your own principles, and it would change over time. So, if you were a disciplined, hardworking, player, eventually your players are going to be either hardworking or at least thinkers or leaders, right? They're going to move away from being relaxed players. And when you buy players as well, you can see what kind of player they are at that time. So this is these mindsets are in the PC version, but there's no way of altering or accounting for what actual difference they might make or don't make in the match engine or the game engine. And I'm curious now. The fact that it is there, I imagined it would probably. I don't know if I thought maybe it was an extra attribute that they added into the console version that just didn't. They just don't put in the PC version. But I imagine they do just let it in the PC version. But they then don't
because
use
they're
it for
using the
anything.
same database in the back end for both. Because otherwise, having to have two separate databases would be a little bit overkill. So I suspect that it's just flagged in a way that when you're on PC, there's like a Boolean operator on it or something that just flags it as false, and it just doesn't show up as far as being like a game mechanic. But obviously, as you say with the skin, I haven't had a chance to look into this properly, so forgive me if I'm off base with this. But I imagine it's just unveiling the text that's in the code, but without actually triggering it as a playable mechanic. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's not like a playable mechanic, but it is like. It is designed, right? So there is like a graphical design, and I'm not sure if the skin does that or if that's actually like how they found the files, whatever they're doing, their magic within the skin.
So there are bonuses as well. There are mindset bonuses and balance bonuses. And I think if you got a balance, you get the longer you have it and the more balanced your team is. The more you've also got to get your players to buy in, which I don't know if that bit's in there.
Yeah,
so the more they buy in to your philosophy, the better and the more balanced you are, or the more your mindset goes, like you will get like bonuses for your team off the back of that. Yeah, it should be in the PC.
So as we said it, right, like you might want it balanced, but you also might want it to be targeted towards a certain attribute. But there's always going to be pros and cons, right? So if your whole team are relaxed, there's going to be some pros. Maybe they handle big situations well, whatever. But then there's going to be some or a number of cons that come with it as well. So I guess it's just how you want to build your squad. I found it very interesting that it was in FM Touch previously and not in the actual game. Yeah. Now I don't think it's actual like playable or usable, but maybe it's in the works. Maybe it's just in there in the works because it's hidden from the base skin, right?
But it looks like the bonuses, you can see the bonuses. So I'm curious if you can go and see the bonuses and see what they do. I haven't actually loaded it up with the skin. I'd be interested to try it out. To give you an example of the bonuses, by the way. So actually, this isn't the bonus. This is just generally the mindset. Sorry. So if you have a lot of hard-working players, will work extremely hard in the training ground to ensure fitness and levels remain at peak. You should feel some positive effects of your squad's mindset. They will also need to be aware of potential drawbacks, reduced chance of reacting impulsively and instinctively, being prone to overthinking, and increasing pressure in big matches. So that's
everything kind of comes with a pro and a con attached to it, I guess. Then it's sort of the
yeah.
So that's why you would need the balance, because you couldn't, even if you had a full team of hard workers, you'd think, oh, that's surely a good thing. But then ultimately, as you say, there would still be the drawbacks to that. It seems like that if you were to have a whole team of one element, hard workers would possibly be the one you'd want. Because if you had a whole team of leaders, that sounds like a disaster because everybody wants to be the one that's in charge. Relax would just be them all work on smoking the entire time. And then thinkers, everyone's got a great idea, but no one wants to execute it.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if you had all hard workers though. You've just got. I don't, if you ever played football and you've got everyone's like putting in the hard work and the graft and like every mistake is punished in it. Like you're just like you get at each other's throats very quickly if you're that way. I wonder, and that's like it says, increasing pressure. Yeah,
but I think that you would rather have a team of hard workers than a team of philosophers just sitting, just going, but here's an idea. Just we could exploit the flanks, but what are the flanks? What do the flanks represent in this environment?
The pitch, does it still exist?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for it to be a set piece, then how and why, and therefore by design, is this better?
Who sets the piece?
Exactly. What piece? And are we spelling it piece as in like piece to all, or piece as a piece of a puzzle? Yeah.
Are we giving a prize for this piece?
It's a callback to 2 weeks episodes ago, I think.
But yeah,
Still here, we've not been cancelled yet.
I think it's something that's it's very interesting, and I think we've mentioned it before. It's like, is it something though that can become, again, you're just adding something on top of something that we're already saying is a bit too heavy for us? Are you just then adding on something else that players don't necessarily just want to be clicking through and then just want to play quickly?
Or is it allowing people, for example, if I say myself, is it allowing me something that actually that's the sort of thing I would like, and I'd maybe focus more with that than looking at optas and other stats that I don't fully understand, like, and would that be sort of something I go, if I'm doing more of a narrative thing, I'm trying to tell more stories, go, oh, actually that's quite a good idea, and it's easy and it's visual, and it just allows another barrier to entry to be sort of removed, possibly.
Especially because everyone plays the game differently. They have sort of different mindsets. Like you and I play it quite. I like the stats, but I also like the narrative stuff. And I'd find a way to ruin it because it'd be like, oh, it's hard workers, but then what's the stats on my hard workers? How much expected hard work am I getting per game? What's my expected thoughts per 90?
Yeah. Well, they're in toilet breaks. Clearly not working hard enough.
But you do get more narrative stuff in the console version. In that way, you get these conversations. They pop up, and you like dilemmas you have to solve, and they impact the buy-in stuff. And
it's the stuff that I would want in the game, and I think this is stuff that will make me more like. Then you're less focused on the OP tactic, right? Because no matter the tactic, your players are not buying into your philosophy, so it's just all pointless anyway. And then, as we mentioned earlier with the Darlington and with whatever Arsenal's doing at the moment, where sometimes that togetherness can just take you far. The football's boring. It's not particularly effective attacking wise, but it's getting you far. Therefore, you don't need that gegenpress tactic sort of thing.
Because what might be interesting, I'm going to caveat this with might, is a lot of your interactions with your players seem very much to be, Gaffer, I'm not playing. Can I please play? Gaffer, you said I was going to play. I'm not playing, right? Whereas I wonder, would it be interesting to potentially have, say, like, you're not playing particularly well. Maybe one of your group leaders or your captain maybe says, look, we're letting a lot of goals in at the minute. Are you sure this sort of like, we've been playing expansive football. Should we not consider maybe tightening things up a little bit? And like coming and sort of having those discussions with the manager, because I think that would be quite interesting. And again, you can then look at the morale of the team and go, well, actually, is it probably the right idea to change the setup? Because you always get the news item that the fans criticise the tactics. But what about the players? Like, do the players sort of maybe go, do you know what? We're being asked to do a lot of defending and we're not great at it, or you're asking us to press a lot and it's just taken out of us. Like, you're not playing to our strengths. I wonder if there's something like that would be worth exploring, and whether that would be make interactions interesting.
The interactions were better because you get like these random dilemmas. Like it's so random, but like it does sound silly. Again, maybe because it's in the game, but it is something that could potentially happen in real life. So it was just like, I don't know, like Joseph. What was one of the scenarios? Joseph tried a skill move in training. And then you've got an option to either encourage it or just like, no, that's not what you do. Don't do that. Or you can encourage it. And then again, there comes like, you get the bonus, right? If you encourage it, he might enjoy that you've encouraged it. Or he might agree with you. Like, you might say blah, 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 but that will again depend if your squad is well oiled or if everyone's not on the same page, you might get different response.
Or your penalty taker's taking a Panenka. You should be able to take him to one side and go, what the fuck were you doing?
Oh, that's an interesting conversation. Well, it's interesting to me, right? So, everyone's talking about how football is boring. It's boring, blah, 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 blah. No flair, no flashiness, right? But then Dango Otara tried a Panenka in a penalty shootout. And then now everyone's calling him out for being stupid, blah, 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 blah. Which I don't quite understand. Like, which way are we going? Do we want it entertaining? Or do we want people to be serious on results? Now, obviously, it's easy to be like, but the context, it was a penalty shootout. But then my thing is like, well, actually, we all love football for entertainment, and the biggest moments the biggest like entertaining moments come in big moments. And where do you think Panenka started from? A big moment. And then Zidane's tried it. Everyone, like almost every big penalty shootout, there's been a Panenka effort. And I just thought it's so
that's
odd.
a reason not to do it. I think now, if you're doing a penalty shootout,
it's almost
if you're the
expected.
keeper,
Yeah. It's like
if you're the
criticism.
keeper, you'll save at least one by expecting a Panenka.
That's the thing. I was like, okay, my criticism of Dango is that you shouldn't have done it purely because you've done it already this season and scored. So the keepers these days, they've done their research. They know that the goalkeeper didn't move because he's thinking like, I'm not losing any points if I should stay in the middle of my goal because I've done my research. I know what he's capable of. So I thought it was stupid of him to try it again. But I didn't actually think that it's right to call him out for trying to Panenka in a penalty shootout because you want that entertainment, right? It's like you should only do it when you're 3-0 up. And it's like, well...
No, you shouldn't, because then you could be 4-0 up. Like,
that's the thing. That's what I think. Like,
also,
if you
maybe
2-0 and they scored 2-1, now it's like squeaky bum time and you've just missed the Panenka.
Well, Enzo Lefebvre did it for Sunderland. It was against Brentford, ironically. I think we were 2-0 down, and then we were 1-0 down possibly. He went and Panenka'd it, missed it, and then we lost the game 3-1. Like, and it's just like that a massive turning point in the game. Like, you could just put your foot through it, and even have it as a player trait. Does stupid things, and you go right. Okay, well, you're not gonna do Panenkas at all.
But see, that's the thing is that everyone's like, no, just get a couple goals first. It's like, so you're the same then. So you're serious. Your results first then. And this is what clubs are doing, and even more so season after season. It's like you're sort of on the same side, but not. You kind of want both things. If the Panenka went in, you would have loved it. But now he's missed. He's stupid, and he shouldn't have done it.
That's it. People are hypocrites, though. They want flair, but only if it works. That they want pretty football, but only if you win playing it. They don't want you to get relegated playing pretty football. That's the thing. It's like they don't care if you play like Tony's bastard ball if you're getting results, because ultimately the name on the trophy doesn't say Darlington, they played bastard ball. It says Darlington in the year. That's all the people care about ultimately for the most part,
it's
right?
funny as well. It's like if Arsenal win the league, I'm not making it about Arsenal, but if Arsenal win the league, no one's going to remember this team. I was like, okay, fair point. I don't care about that, but fair point. I was like, I guarantee many people will struggle to speak about the starting 11 of Manchester City's Centurion team, which was just the other day. But many people will forget that actual starting 11. Like, you're obviously going to remember a lot of players, and I think you're going to remember players from this Arsenal side too. But I don't think people actually remember fully, like, the previous Manchester United squads that have won it. I remember it pure daylight. I remember where I was. I remember some of the goals. That Manchester City Centurion team, as exciting as some of the football was, I actually just can't remember much of it, if I'm totally honest. So I don't think it actually cares if your team's remembered or not. You've won it. That what's important is that your team's name, it says 2005-06 Manchester City. Oh, whoa, let me not jinx it. 2005-06 question mark, but 2003-04 Manchester City. I don't want to jinx it. But that's all that matters is the name next to the thing, right?
Yeah, because there's no, you don't get points for style, do you? That's the thing. Nope. Like, you go, oh, hey, they played some lovely football. They did finish 4th, though. Yeah, but they played really well.
I love points for style. Imagine that. You score 4 goals in a game, you get an extra point. Like in rugby. I swear they do that in certain rugby tournaments. You get points for like certain numbers of tries.
Or even you didn't score 4. Yeah, or you didn't score 4, but hey, you know what? You had a really good goal. Like, morally, you should have won. Yeah. So, like,
personally, I think you should get an extra point for scoring a set piece. That's just me.
Really?
That's the Arsenal What, like 3 points, Aaron? Like for a field goal or something?
That's just
Arsenal, get 3 points.
I think you should be allowed to bring an entire new team on just to take set piece. That's what you should be allowed to do. Make us all wear helmets.
Well, like, but literally, in any Arsenal news, transfer news, Arsenal's interested. First thing, how tall is he? Just straight away, how tall is he?
It's the irony that Tottenham's got the American football stadium and Arsenal's got the set piece coordinator. Just, try and work this one out. Let's call Arsenal the Cincinnati Bengals if we have to. Yeah. What do you reckon, Si? Points for style or not?
Yeah, you got to go stylish. I think your fans will get on your back if you're going to play this stupid football. You're going to have to turn it around, Tony, at some point. They're going to, as soon as it starts
I'm listening to you.
Some point. Or So I agree. At some point, I have to turn free flowing like jazz
I thought you
ball,
asked
and it's
about
like
your
okay,
team.
now it's cool. Or do I stick with it and do I Jose Mourinho it?
I think you have to be careful.
With a
You have to be-
Panenka. With a Panenka,
think-
no, I don't. Panenka, I think a Panenka should be too easy to save. I don't know why. It's because
Yeah.
they've committed the goalkeeper, right? That's the
I
only
think
reason
if you're
they're
gonna-
doing.
I think if you're going to show off, take it with your other foot.
Some people are
Backheel.
good
Yeah.
at manipulating,
The
maybe,
Bona
but
penalty.
If you want to go
Could you though? 'Cause
distracted, by the way,
you'd run the risk of clipping your other foot, wouldn't you?
I was
gonna say,
slightly
Tony, you do run the
distracted
risk.
because when Aaron said about Man United's team, and I was like, do I reckon I could actually name Man United's last Premier League winning team? Because you said you remember all the Man United ones, and I was,
I mean like the
2003.
1999, like the treble,
Okay,
the treble
right,
win,
yeah.
like the big, yeah.
Okay,
Like
for the
2012,
Patreon,
13.
then we will name the most unspectacular league winners. That can be
I'll
the
tell you what,
Patreon episode.
it's
this
probably
evening.
as a Sporkle quiz. I'll be on it, ready for the
I
Patreon. With
I
Sporkling
might
for
be able
Patreon.
to get Leicester's team more accurate than I can get
Oh yeah,
Manchester City Central. I think.
100%.
Oh yeah, because it was
more
well
memorable.
documented.
Yeah, it was memorable. Yeah, it was memorable, but it wasn't.
I'm seeing them already in my head.
Okay, I don't want to disrespect to say it wasn't good football. Like it was good and entertaining, different, right?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, they were entertaining.
yeah, because like the Guardians of the Galaxy, there's a difference between good and entertaining.
And maybe that's the difference. Maybe Manchester City were good, and teams like Leicester were entertaining. Maybe.
I wonder
You know,
though
there's-
how entertaining Leicester would be if it was just Chelsea that played the exact same football as Leicester and achieved the exact same results. Would it be still perceived the same way? Because were they actually that entertaining, or was it just because it was Leicester? And that's not a bad thing. I just wonder if that's maybe the rose-tinted spectacles because it was Leicester.
Well, the underdog story adds to it as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Makes it a big thing. Like players overperforming their expectations. So yeah, and then with that power of like this is the star-studded Harlem Globetrotters, you'd expect them to play with a bit of swagger, a bit of style. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Look at us getting all philosophical towards the end of the
Again,
show.
we're
I'm
all
trying to think.
thinkers.
Would I enjoy it? I'm trying to remember the goals, and some of the goals are generally banging. But like the Vardy goal, right? I think he's got against Liverpool, where he's like, I think he
half
just like
volley.
thought, fuck this up. Yeah, but it's just
Yeah.
like it just came from a long ball. He just ran onto it. It's entertaining to me, but would I watch it and see Chelsea do it and be like, oh yeah, that was like class Chelsea goal? I mean, that was a good strike,
Chelsea
but I
did do
wouldn't-
that. They had Didier Drogba to do that. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. That goal against Everton was class. Okay. Yeah,
But
maybe I will
I-
find it. I don't know.
But I think, and this is my thought on the Arsenal situation, is that you had Henry and Bergkamp and Pires and Ljungberg, and you had that flashy Arsenal with Vieira and Petit and the Wenger style, and that was lovely to watch. And this is not. It's effective. It's very, very effective, and it's working. And it might actually work enough.
That's the thing, right? Even with
but
that
I
team,
wouldn't-
I still felt like, I don't know. I felt like Arsenal at that time could do it's like a switch. Like it's a bit like Leicester, right? Where like you could just give the ball to Mahrez, and then all of a sudden they look a little bit more elegant and a little bit more flashy when certain people have the ball. And obviously, there's no criticism on Arsenal. Arsenal were a very good side, but I still think like we were still built on big players, athleticism, and then once the ball got to a certain point, then we became this flashy. Like Arsenal weren't like building from the back and doing give and goal combinations from the back and progressing. Like we would just lump the ball forward or get the ball from back to front as quickly, because back then the aim was get the midfielders on the ball, right? They're your best players, so find them, then you play forward, sort of thing. So I don't know.
What do you
Obviously,
mean? I've seen
then-
Tony Adams play. Didn't Tony Adams score that goal once where he's like
Against
just
Everton, wasn't
completely
it?
wrong
Yeah.
end of the pitch? What
Tony
was it?
Adams, see, that's the thing. Tony Adams couldn't. I don't want to disrespect him and say he couldn't pass 5 yards, but if we seriously watch football, and we'll be like, why is he just lumping that forward when he's got an option right there? That's the sort of football that it was back then that everyone, nowadays wants to revert to. Fair enough, but
What's
That
that
was
Tony
sort of the
Adams
thing.
goal? Is it against Everton? He just
That's
keeps
what
running.
Yeah.
There was a table from the Premier League, right? And it was like touches. The players who are getting touches now compared to players who are getting the most touches then. Now it's all defenders. Back then it was literally just all midfielders. So the football has changed, obviously dramatically, and it wasn't always pretty then. And I still feel like football in England was a lot of it was still built on athleticism and running, and the team that could run more often won more. That's why Wenger came in, changed the nutrition. Arsenal was just fitter than everyone, stronger than the many. It was still built on that, but then we could just switch it on sort of in the final third, which I feel is missing from this Arsenal side. If this Arsenal side could defend how they're defending right now, but could just have the switch, they could give the ball to Saka, and then all of a sudden, we did it a few years ago when Odegaard, Saka, and they had this little thing, but I don't know what happened, guys. I don't know what happened. We scored a couple of corners and thought, actually, this is the way to beat City. I think that's what's happened. Because 2 years ago, we weren't entertaining. And we still had this thing, like, Arsenal a bit weak, aren't they? They're not going to go the full mile. They're a bit weak. I think Arteta just took that personally and just thought, fuck this shit. I used to play against Stoke. I'm gonna copy that.
If it wins you the title, it wins you the title. That's it, isn't
Potentially.
it?
Potentially.
Substance over style.
Like I've never been like confident. I've never been like the fan that's been like, I know we're gonna win it. But now I think after we've done the slip up, and then I think even Chris is in the chat is like, oh, Arsenal gonna bottle it again. Then to see City draw against 2-2, draw 2-2, sorry, against Forest at home, I thought, you know what, guys, dude, yeah, that whole weekend of just like, the gods is just for us, right? The gods is for us. But what's the problem?
There's games to go. There's games to go, Aaron. Especially if City get knocked out of Europe.
Second goal as well.
There is, but that's the thing, right? We drew against Bayern Munich thinking, oh, we didn't look great. Next day, we're watching just City get walked all over by Real Madrid.
Leverkusen.
Maybe not walked all
You
over.
drew with Leverkusen, not Munich.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Leverkusen. And then, it's because I was watching Munich, sorry.
All right.
Munich smoked, they smoked for like 6 months.
Atalanta.
Yeah, so I don't know. And then the next game, they've got Chelsea away, haven't they? So after they just played Real Madrid away, they've got to play Chelsea away, and we've got Everton at home. So
This is how I'm feeling in my save. So I'll give you my little save update. So Tony, last week, do you remember what did I say last week? I think I said that I just opened the season with 3 hard games, and I come away with 6 points out of 9.
Yeah,
probing.
Yeah, and then I'm now. I'm now
reference to the WhatsApp chat group they're not in. So.
Thinking, what the hell? That makes sense.
I've got 8 games to go. I'm in third, but I'm 4 points behind Liverpool and Arsenal. So, and I have played all the hard teams except for Arsenal is the penultimate game. The rest of my teams are the relegation candidates. Most of them haven't had a win in ages. So all the rest of my matches are in the bottom half, apart from Arsenal. And I assume these guys have got to play each other. So I'm thinking, out of nowhere, I might be in with a chance of winning a Premier League.
Oh.
And I'm expected to avoid relegation, so it's going all right.
I think they change your tactics. So, are you just going to keep it? Or are you going to actually just... I don't know. I think I'll be tempted just to actually push for it. Just like, I've got nothing to lose there.
Oh, I'm pushing for the title, yeah. But, you know, it's like... The stupid thing is I'll beat the big teams and then I'll lose them. I think I lost to Everton or someone 3-0 and I'm like, where's that come from? I lost to Leeds. Leeds are like 15th place. I'm like, where's that come from? Like, Leeds have absolutely... And it wasn't even like close. They just dominated me. And I was like...
It's the thing, though, isn't it? If you're playing the teams who are in a relegation battle, they've obviously got something to fight for as well. So
like,
you know, then they're not as straightforward as you'd expect. You know, you might think, oh, we'll roll it to town. This will be easy, but you know, if they can nick a point and they might stay up, might derail your title aspirations, Si.
I might get my Premier League. I'll get my hands on it for next week.
I'm gonna get a Vanarama National North one.
Yeah.
Playoffs, obviously, not the time.
They probably think, wait, no, they do. That's the Football Manager one. Yeah, all you got to do is if you win the Manager of the Month, you just got to hold up your little mug. or
That's the manager of the month awards. Yeah.
In that case, hold up your laptop then.
Didn't have those in the club shop.
Yeah.
have you got one of those old what were the
doormats?
I don't have that mug anymore, actually. My fiance's boss has it.
No.
Didn't have a door.
Didn't have a door.
Just came in through the roof.
Got my mouse back.
Locked in 24.
Patreon exclusive. Matt tells us about his life in a wigwam.
No. I didn't really have a door back then, to be fair, so...
Can you say wigwam or is it
Well,
TV?
you know, metaphorically.
Oh, I don't know. TV.
Patreon exclusive. We work out what we can and can't say.
Wigwam. Wigwam bam.
Best to put it down the paywall just in case. On that note, where
it's
can
called
we
Yurt.
find Patreon, Aaron?
We can find Patreon at patreon.com/the FM Show pod. That's patreon.com/the FM Show pod, where you can support the channel from as little as £3. So why not give it a try?
He's right. Isn't he? He's right. That's a good sales
I'm
pitch.
good,
That one,
yeah.
isn't it?
You can come and learn something on the Patreon. I will tell you quickly the difference between a wigwam and a teepee. I thought a wigwam was the thing that we is actually a teepee, but a wigwam is dome shaped. So it's the shape. The teepee is like a triangle, and a wigwam is dome.
Oh, okay.
Neither of them are. Both of them are perfectly acceptable terms to use. But
Well, you've just cost us 3 Patreons there, Si.
it
Well
is,
done.
Yeah.
Wigwam. Sounds. does
We're not
sound like
cancelled.
a
We're not cancelled this week. We're not cancelled this week.
Yeah. Spectre's playing the Millennium Wigwam this year. Great.
So it's an architectural thing, essentially, like a structural thing.
But yeah. Sorry to the 3
like the
people who
Millennium
signed up to
Wigwam.
Patreon. Go, do I need to bother now? We've found out we've got the answer.
Wigwam.
For the audio listeners, I'm not even going to explain that. I'm just going to leave.
Just go around the place and say wigwam. Yeah. Oh my days.
Lovely.
Oh, you're the wigwam guy. Oh, I can't imagine that.
I don't think that's a nickname you want. That's not a nickname you
I don't
want.
think you
Video
want
clip
that.
with text
With his
on
forehead,
screen.
maybe it's
Wigwam.
acceptable.
Oh, Patreon's going to be fun. Right. Thank you, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed it. Leave us some comments below. Is Si going to win the league? Am I going to stay? Am I going to push on for promotion with Bastard Ball? Matt is building his nation in Poland, and is Aaron going to get cancelled this week? We'll find out. We'll find out. Yeah, right. Appreciate you all. Give us some love. We'll see you all next week. All the best,
Shout
everyone.
out to
Take
my
care.
wiggies. My wiggies.
Bye now.